Alright guys, if you're going to ever have problems with weevils in corn, it's going to usually come from right around the very bottom or right around the top. So what I do is I shell the bottom off like this into a container, and I move that container out of the way, and then I take the rest of it here and I'll make me a path up through here like this. It's not hard to do. And I get up here, I stop before I get to the top like that, and then you can take your hand and go sideways. This stuff will just, now this is Danny corn. I don't know if all the other corn is going to do this or not, but the Danny corn comes off really, really easy. It's not hard on your hands. I just try to make sure I don't get any of the top about an inch down in with this corn. Now this corn can be used for seeds, or it can be used for, we're going to use this for cornmeal. Then I go back and I take the top of this and I just kind of clean it off. I have an empty cob like this. I just move the empty cob over and throw it in a container there. And that is what I use to make my fertilizer out of for my raised beds. Now this here is a 5-gallon bucket that I have. The ends, and what I do is when I get a certain amount in my bucket, I just pour it off in here. This will all be ran through the Bravo corn grinder, and we'll be grinding this up into chicken feed. Alright, I have 5 more of these stainless steel baskets of corn in the cooler from last year that I'm doing now, and I still have well over 1,000 ears hanging in my barn that when they're dry, we're going to use we'll use the hand sheller to do them. These I'm being a little bit more particular with because these have been in the cooler. I'm just trying to take my time to make sure I don't see any bad places in them or anything like that. Those that's hanging in the barn, I've already been through those. This here will be used for, I can pick me a few seeds out of it if I need to, or we're going to mainly use this for grinding up into cornmeal, corn flour, grits. You know, we're going to take and fire up the old cub and get the big grist mill out, and we're going to grind this. We'll have a video on it when we do it. We've already showed it once, but we'll probably show doing it again, because hopefully then we're going to have some family and all here to share the cornmeal and the grits with. Good morning, everybody. Danny and Wanda back from Pecan Grove. Guys, we've been shelling off our Danny corn, the ends of the cobs, and we have some shelled out there. And it is time to actually grind our chicken feed. And we're going to be using, we bought this years ago to grind our cornmeal with, but found out that it actually does a better job with grinding things like chicken feed and stuff. So this is the Bravo 4, and this here is the 5-gallon bucket. Well, I love this system. You got a bucket here, this top goes on it, and this is retractable here. No dust. That is one thing I'm loving about this. Is you mash that down, slide it up under it, and it snaps back up around it, and it makes a seal in there. No dust. Now here's what we're going to do. There's 3 of these pins here. This is the long one. There's one that's longer than the other one. This one here is the long one. These are, the other 2 are shorter. For reference purposes, you can see there's 2 short ones and 1 long one. Now what we're going to do, this slides off of here like so, and this reveals the mechanism. Now this is kind of like, if you're familiar with a flail mower, these are like a hammer mill. It does the same thing as a hammer mill. It's not a grist mill. This is works more like a hammer mill. As these things sling around, they beat the corn as it falls out of the hopper here down into this right here. It falls into here, and we're going to be putting a screen on it, and then this goes down into the bucket here. Now we bought a whole bunch of different screens to go with this. we have one here. This one was supposedly for cornmeal right here. I forget how many holes it is per square inch. Then you have one here for very fine, like flour. I mean, this one's really fine. You can see it there for making corn flour. Not, let me correct that. We tried making corn flour with it. It don't work for corn flour. It will work for wheat berries, but not corn flour.
Yeah, it stops up.
Stops up. We actually bought 2 of these, ones for making cornmeal.
One came with it, and we bought another one.
Yeah, because they come in a set. When you buy the thing, you just get one screen with it. And we went back and bought a set. Now, this one here will break it up. If you had little baby chicks or something, this will break it up into, like, I guess you call it scratch feed. And then you have this one here is the next size up for breaking it up. And then this is your very largest one right here. Now, we're going to go with this one right here. I think this one's going to be our best one to go with. Not hard. Not that hard to install it. It just takes a little patience here. It snaps in here. These have never been put in here, so you know what? It's got a straight side on it right there, I see. Okay, let's do it this way. There we go. And one, you have, let me take this back out and show you. You have 2 lips here. You got this one and this one. It goes behind one and in front of the other. Same thing on this side. It goes behind one, in front, and behind. That's the part that, with these heavier screens, that gets just a little bit frustrating. I'm going to see if I can.
The tip of it's bent.
I'm trying to make sure I get these in the right sequence. They got to go over and behind. I got to get it inside that one. This.
It's under it. It's not inside it.
I know, that's what I'm telling you. This one here, I think I got it. I was messing around with it, and I think I bent it a little bit. I need to see how this one's curved like that, and this one is not. I need to get my pliers and just bend it, because I'm afraid if I bend it with my fingers, I'm gonna bend it down here. Everything when you first use it for the first time takes a little tweaking. Get that. This is a really heavy gauge one. The other ones are a lot thinner. They're a whole lot easier to handle. This one is just a little bit stiffer. Okay. I think we are there. Yes, we are there. See, we have our tabs on the inside, inside right there, inside up here, and then we have outside, outside, and outside. And then these are seated in here really good. I think we're good to go. Now, I'm going to slide it up on. We're going to take our 3 things. Now remember, the long one come out of the top right-hand corner. Don't tighten it down just yet. Make sure you get them all of them in there. Because you don't want to warp something. You want to make sure everything's fitting like it's supposed to fit. Now, you don't want to over tighten them. Just want to snug them down. This right here is the flow meter right here. You can let it up and you can let it down, and we will regulate it based on how well it's grinding. Because you'll know, it's just like using a grist mill. Your nose will tell you if it's starting to burn. Once we get it adjusted, we'll pour some more in there. All right. Let's see if we can make it happen. Never get it regulated here. right, we're going to take a look in the bucket, and we're going to see actually what size we ended up with, because I've never used this screen before. That's the first time I've ever actually used it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look at that there. That is perfect for the chickens. That'd be perfect for cows too.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Truthfully, you could sift that and get the cornmeal out of it, I guess.
Probably could. Grits. Sorry. I know lots of people are going, oh, that's grits, that's cornmeal, oh, that's seed. That's what we raised it for.
I'm going to be honest with you about the Danny corn with my animals, especially my chickens. Once they have the Danny corn, they never go back. I mean, you can buy other corn and crack it. They don't want it. They want this. You tell me how they know? God just made it that way. I don't know. They know the difference between store-bought stuff and home-raised stuff.
Just like we do.
Yep. Let's do it, baby. Let's just dump it and go for it.
And we will have seeds, so don't think we ruining all y'all's precious seeds now.
No.
We raised this for our animals. That's what we did.
And this is just the tops and the bottoms off of the cob. We saved the middle part. Let me give you an example here. Let's take one of these right here.
And see, this is why I said we still have seed.
Oh yeah, they're close to 1,300 ears hanging here. What we do with this right here, this here is I come in here and I go around my cobs and I break off the seeds like this right here. Ooh, boy, that stuff is, I hate losing them blue seeds, but
you don't lose all of them.
Yeah, we do that right there. And then I come in and I come around the bottoms, and I'll tell you why I do this in a minute here. I do this right here because you see these seeds are round. They're not flat. They're more round than they are flat. Then these seeds are all predominantly flat. Now there's occasionally you'll get a round one in it, but these are mostly flat. When you go to put these in a planter to plant with, the flat ones plant a whole lot more efficiently than the round ones do. That is the reasoning behind that. All right.
And if there's any bug damage or whatever, it's usually in the top or the bottom like that.
Yeah, if you have weevils or anything like that going to start in your corn, it's either going to be in the very tip or the very bottom. Usually they're not in the center. Now occasionally you'll find a bad kernel in the middle, and if I see that with my eyes while I'm going through it, I just take it out. All right, here we go. Here's where I get my flow gate open back up. I dump the corn in there and it pushes my gate down. Ooh, okay guys, the moment of truth here. I didn't know how much was in the bucket, so I think we're right at this.
About
well, that's about what you call calling it pretty close, ain't it?
And it took, what, 10 minutes or less?
Oh Lord, it didn't even take that long. We just shooting a video is what made it take so long.
Less than 10 minutes, I know.
Yeah, and if you're trying to grind this by hand, you'd be here for hours trying to grind that by hand. So what we've done here, you know us, we're frugal people. We try to repurpose everything. this is the bag that our corn came in that we put in our feeder down there in the woods for the wildlife. And I told Wanda, I said, it's already had corn in it, it's not hurt. It's a plastic bag. Why not, let's just reuse it. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take this up. Look at that. Chris, don't go wild on me, son.
You're gonna be out in the chicken pen fighting for
Chris
this.
will be fighting me for this.
We're gonna make Chris some grits and cornmeal.
We're gonna have to give that boy some grits and cornmeal. That's right. Look at that.
Ooh. Which means the meal gets used shortly.
Yep. When I get all the cooler over at Deepsouth cleaned out and get all the corn shelled off of it and everything, we're gonna hook the cub back up to the grist mill, and we are going to grind a lot of cornmeal. Because we have got a pile of stuff stashed right now. What we're doing is, I'm shelling it off, using these ends to make chicken feed. The other, I'm putting in burlap bags, putting in the deep freeze for 2 weeks, so that when I take them out, I'm letting them acclimate to room temperature. That way, when we grind them for cornmeal, we don't have to worry about weevils getting in the cornmeal.
And then comes the task in about 3 or 4 weeks of all this dried corn.
Yeah, all this will be the next on the list once I get it, when I know for sure that it has no moisture left in it whatsoever. Now we will use we have a hand grinder over here, sheller. We'll be using the hand sheller on this, because this was picked this year. $20, 25 pounds right there, cracked corn.
So when we get through with that 5-gallon bucket, we should have 50 pounds, pretty close.
We'll have between 40 and 50, I imagine.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Round 2.
Round number 2. You're supposed to actually turn this on before you put your corn in it. I showed you the time I poured that 5-gallon bucket full in there, and I showed you the time that it ended was 4 minutes. Let's see what we got in 4 minutes here.
Almost as much as before.
There's your dust right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, guys, you can't grind that much corn by hand in 4 minutes.
So less than 10 minutes for about a 50-pound bag.
Yeah, less than 10 minutes. Now, if I'd have just been constantly pouring it in there,
instead of playing around with it.
Instead of playing around, filming, and all that kind of stuff, it might would have even went faster. But this was a little expensive, and yes, it's all plastic, and it's made in China. But let me tell you something. When it comes to doing this right here,
it saved us hours today.
It saved me hours. To me, it is well worth it, you know.
And our chickens will get just a little scoop every day.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get this every day, but now you can grind wheat berries in that. you know.
You can make grits, corn flour, and you can do the corn flour. We did.
Yeah.
But if you use that fine mesh, it gums up. You have to use the second mesh.
You got to use the second.
And sift it.
And then sift it. That's all you got to do. I mean, it will serve many purposes. I'm very well pleased with that right there.
Yeah, we were well pleased with the cornmeal and grits we had, but we had to use the second mesh.
Yeah.
But now we got the stone ground. Ain't nothing beats that, do it?
Nothing beats the stone ground now. But if you can't afford, or you can't find, or have no way to run the big stone ground ones, now they are really expensive. Then this would be your next best option right here. If you wanted something to grind chicken feed, I'm talking about a multi-purpose now. Chicken feed, cornmeal grits, flour, wheat flour, all that kind of stuff. You can grind oats. It grinds all of it. So, yeah, this is the best all-around meal. Now, I will not run flour through my grist mill because I have a intolerance to wheat, but I will grind corn, and corn is the only thing I'll grind in that one. This is what I do to clean. This is the quickest way to clean this. It blows air up through this right here, because when you mash that up and down, there's a little thing right here that when you mash it down, if I can get it here where I can do it. See how that comes up above that, like that? It seals off when you let go of it, and air blows up out of it. So you got a little stuff up in here. It's really.
You just wipe it all down now.
Now you can just take a light damp rag. You can wipe it all down. And then I just take this and I put it back up in there.
And you put your.
And I take my screen. I take the top off. I put them down in the bucket. Well, let me take a scoop out there to the chickens. Let me do that.
Show them our welfare chickens. We got welfare cows. We got welfare chickens.
I've already fed the chickens this morning, and it's only been like an hour or something since I fed them. So we'll see how they react to the corn. Chickies. Look at that. And they've already ate this morning. Look at that.
Go put it in their feed thing.
I'm going to go put it in their feed thing, but... Look, they love Danny corn. And they've already had their laying stuff this morning. They literally love that stuff. They love it.
It's time to get them used to the big water.
Yep, they're big. They're getting to be big girls now. It's time to get them used to eating out of, drinking out of this. Because see, they're used to drinking out of the little tick thing there.
Yeah, and this holds 13 gallons. Over easy chicken coop. I'll put a link to the Bravo and to the water. This has 4 nipples on the front, I think.
I believe that's right, yeah.
It has 3 nipples on the front. Now, they're not used to nipples yet, so we're going to have to get them used to water coming out it. And take the other water out, they'll have to get used to it.
Well, I'll leave it in and give them a little while. They'll get used to it.
And I've been laying eggs in the dog thing. I think they like Danny corn.
Well, they went crazy over it. They cleaned up what was over yonder. It gives them some grit in their crawl too. I threw them some oyster shells in here the other day to kind of help with everything.
She's wanting to figure it out.
Yeah.
Give her some water and see if she'll figure it out. She was looking at it. Oh, look. She's up on your back. She said that's the highest thing. If you stand still, another one's going.
No. We got to get off my back.
This one wants water. She's just scared to test it. She's going to try it again. She's going on your back.
No, I got to turn away.
All right, you're about full. I should be about our 12 or 13 gallons. I can't remember. It says on there somewhere 12 or 13 gallons.
All right.
It saves a lot of every day, sometimes twice a day, filling up a water.
Especially in this heat.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've got the new chickens taken care of here. Put the big girl box up here, we call it, for them to get some water out of. Kind of get them used to that before we actually move them to the big pen up at the barn up there. I think they'll enjoy that. So I hope today that maybe you've enjoyed watching a little bit of the process we go through here at Pecan Grove to take care of our animals and grind our own feed and stuff like that. I think that maybe in the future we'll be able to do a little bit better job than what we're doing now. But right now we are kind of in a transition period, and nothing is where it really needs to be at. Like this chicken pen really isn't going to stay here. We just put this here while the baby chicks were really tiny. This one right here, she's gonna get on top of everything. Y'all saw her get up on my back a while ago, probably. That was probably her. She's just the one to test everything out. But anyway, we got a lot to do, guys.
They already testing the water.
They done figured it out.
Look at them.
They done.
Tell me that we ain't got some smart chickens.
These chickens here, I have spent a lot of time with them. They're very good chickens, I'm telling you.
You take the blue thing out.
Yeah, these are the ISA browns. I'm going to leave the blue thing in because it's got some water in it. Now that way it'll just make
well,
the water,
some of them might not figure it out as quick.
yeah, it'll make the water last just a little bit longer. Look, she's going to pull the tag off.
And now you got to get the tag.
Look, you can't have
plastic.
You can't eat the plastic. Good Lord have mercy, girls.
That was on that wood, wasn't it?
Yeah, what are we going to do with y'all?
But at least...
Y'all would eat the fence if it wasn't steel.
Ow. She said, ow.
Yeah. Anyway.
We may have to put, like I did before, attach something to the thing to keep them off the top.
And let it hang down over
we're going to have to do that because otherwise they're going to poop on the top.
They'll roost on it and poop on it and everything.
So we're going to put a cover. Otherwise they poop on everything and it's not good.
You do what you got to do on the homestead to make these animals understand that they can't just do what they want to do. You know what I mean? Because
otherwise we'll be scrubbing this all the time.
Yeah, we'll be scrubbing the fool out of this all the time. Man, we ain't going to do that.
And all it does is hang on the top. And once they get used to being there, they still can get their water.
Oh, yeah.
It just keeps them from flying up on it.
They're like, why are you putting this up there?
This way we can still get to the lid.
Yeah, we can get to the lid on our side. We can just lift it up and I can stick the water hose thing to it right here.
Yeah, that's one reason for putting it right here. You can just reach and open it up.
Yeah.
Put your water in, put the lid back on.
Okay, guys, we're on to bigger and better things here at Pecan Grove. Hope you've enjoyed the video today. If you have, make sure you hit that like button so that we get put in the algorithm. There'll be a link in the description below for the Over Easy chicken waterer if you like that, and for the Bravo if you're interested in the Bravo. We'll have a link for both of those to bless you guys with. Thank you guys from Pecan Grove.